So let's go over the build quality first. As their high-end headphone amplifier, it is really built like a tank. Like holes and lines, but it's quite nicely done. So I like that about this amplifier. Very balanced, and you get bass adjustment. You can increase to 10 Hertz, 20 Hertz, 40 Hertz, and then you can also adjust on the bottom solid state, tube, and tube plus. And so here we have the 3.5mm headphone output, a 1/4" output, XLR output, and 9 dB and 18 dB gain switch. You get balanced outputs and inputs. You also get 3 inputs in single-ended RCAs, and you also get an unbalanced output, and you also get a DC loop out for other devices, and a DC in 15 volts for new old stock General Electric 5670 tubes, which
about IFI's Pro iCAN fully balanced headphone amplifier and preamp. This is their flagship headphone amplifier and boasts impressive specifications, with it pumping a full 14 watts of power into 16 ohm headphones through its balanced outputs, along with 4.8 watts into 16 ohms through its single-ended outputs. It has one 3.5mm TRS headphone jack, two 6.35mm jacks, two XLR 3-pin jacks, and one 4-pin XLR output, which I have been using the most. I wasn't the biggest fan of how the micro iCAN SE that I previously reviewed looked, but I could not deny that it was an impressively well built piece of kit that was made of metal. The Pro iCAN is again made of metal, but looks far better aesthetically as part of any audio chain. The tube glow through the vents gives it quite a picturesque look as well. The main selling point of this amplifier, besides its powerful nature, are the features that IFI has slapped onto it. It features the ability to be switched between solid state, tube, and tube plus mode. While not apparently rollable, IFI boasts that they use a General Electric 5670 tube. Other main features of this amp are shared with the micro iCAN SE, but in a more powerful and well implemented manner. These are the hardware bass boost, known as XBass, and the crosstalk adjustment, known as 3D holographic sound. Both can be adjusted by their respective small knobs on the front panel. Just like I full potential either, and the switch was definitely working because each time it toggled, the sound is muted. XBass is a hardware bass boost that pairs very well with the HD800, something that I noticed while reviewing the micro iCAN a few months ago. On the Pro iCAN, however, it is a far more customizable experience with more texture and reach. It ranges from giving a slight kick to the low end of your listening experience to making it a bass head's dream. As it is a hardware bass boost, any trade-off to its usage is heavily reliant on the headphones being used and their ability to separate the frequencies well. It does far better than software equalizer in this regard. 3D holographic sound is meant to add more panning distance and area to the soundstage of a headphone. Using what I assume to be crosstalk, it widens the soundstage to varying effects depending on the headphones. I found the same function on the micro iCAN to be a bit eerie, ethereal, and whispery in nature, removing any impact or depth from the sound. On the Pro iCAN, however, the experience has been made more robust, so this is quite avoided. Looking to try it on full setting with the AC800? Don't bother, it does not benefit much at all. Closed headphones like the ZMF iCAN and Atticus do experience some widening of soundstage, and it is definitely interesting, but something that is heavily reliant on the listener's preferences. Observant viewers may notice that I did not touch very much on how the Pro iCAN simply drives headphones in this review. That is because it simply does so. Driving most headphones is no problem for it with its ample wattage. Once again, I do not have a Hi-Fi in HE6 on hand to test how it does with a notoriously low sensitivity headphone, but it handled my 300 ohm and 180 ohm headphones with ease. Through the 3.5mm output, it even drove the 320 VE Zen 2 quite easily. I never had to make use of the gain switches. I also have to praise the small form factor of the Pro iCAN, which is especially small compared to my gigantic Audio GD NFB28. It is quite transportable, and if it had a DAC component, then it would have been all you need for a transportable setup. However, ultimately, I find that the Pro iCAN, when used in its pure solid state, tube, and tube plus modes, lacks a distinctive flavor that sets it apart from other amplifiers that I have tried. While the XBass and the 3D holographic sound settings exist to customize your experience, I feel that IFI played it a bit too safe with the differences between the three modes, with Tube Plus feeling redundant with some headphones as it was too indistinct from solid state mode. That being said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this amplifier. I would imagine that even the subtle differences would suffice for some, but I would personally want a tube amplifier in this price, in which it was able to roll several different tubes for customization in a different manner, so the switching mode really isn't a big selling point for me personally. So, in summation, the Pro iCAN is a solid product that will drive any of your headphones and give you the ability to customize your experience with features that are frankly not present on most amplifiers. Once again, I'd like to thank IFI for sending me this review unit of the iCAN, and this has been my review. Cheers, and I will see you next time.